intro music is provided by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com.
For the best in paranormal talk radio, you're listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio with Gary.
Well, hi, everybody. Today, it's a so-so day in Gig Harbor. I'm hoping you, wherever you live, be it in the United States or the UK or South America or even the Russia area, Ukraine area, we have a lot of listeners in that direction. I just want to say, well, I hope you're having a great time this time of year and a great summer. Hey, tonight, we're going to be talking, about a guy who wrote a book about, a psychic ability and all that stuff. So I'm bringing him on right now. Hey, to the guest, are you out there tonight?
How are you today?
I'm doing fine. And how was your day today?
It was pretty good. It's quite hot here in Florida, hot and humid, but beautiful day.
You know, the weather cycle is so messed up, sir, that it is crazy. I know about a month ago, I live up in an area called Gig Harbor, Washington State, and we broke our record. The highest, back in May we've had was 72 degrees. We hit 92 degrees.
Wow.
But then it's kind of been ho-hum, raining a little bit, and temperatures anywhere from, the high 60s to mid 70s. But boy, the weather is changing all around the world.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we're here to talk about clairvoyance, right? And psychic ability.
Oh, yes, that's what you're here for. And why don't you explain to the listeners what it is?
Of course.
And also who you are, too. I think that'll be, very important.
Yes. So clairvoyance is a type of psychic ability, right? And it's seeing things that are not in this world, right? So when I say this world, I mean the physical world. And it's specific to images, right? So for example, it's very common that people report to see auras around another person, right? So you could be chatting with someone, and then as you relax, maybe you could get into this expanded state of consciousness, right? And then you start to see a bright line around your friend, right? So this could be the energy body of your friend that you start to see with clairvoyance. Another example would be to see like colors, right, around a person or around an animal or around a plant, right? Green, yellow, those colors can vary. That's another example of a clairvoyance experience. Some people can see chakras, centers of energies around another person. And then there's this broad range of experiences, including when you can see a spirit, a being, or a ghost in another dimension, right? Again, in another world. It's not a physical world. It's someone that is no longer alive. It's in a period between one life and the next. And clairvoyance could give you access to that. You would be able to see that the person, right, in the other dimension. So it's a type of psychic ability.
Well, what can you do with that ability? I mean, I've had psychics on the show where they could actually, see the future, look at somebody and, see what's going on with them health-wise, money-wise, job-wise. I mean, what's the difference between what you do and what they do?
Yeah. First, the word clairvoyance is used in two main ways, right? There's this broad sense that you would think of the traditional psychic that would, for example, sometimes using tarot cards, sometimes using some energy technique, and sometimes they just sit in front of you and then maybe they can read something from your energy and then tell you, you didn't say what you work with, and let's say you are an architect, you design houses, and then they pick that up and say, well, I can see you designing houses, right? This is one type of, one example of psychic ability in the broad sense, right? So you're reading energies. In here, what I'm proposing, it's a more strict way of doing clairvoyance, which is the visual clairvoyance. So you can see energies, auras, people around you. So what can you do with it, right? And I think this is a very good question, and then there are many ways to answer that, right? I think the summary is that you can explore the dimensions that are out there, right? You can explore non-physical things. You could unlock, these interesting things, this interesting world that is around us, right? When we talk about psychic ability, we can think about a lot of theories, right? So, for example, life after life, or life after death, right? So you have a physical life, you have a physical body, and then let's say in 50 years, in 100 years, this body is no longer alive. So am I going to exist once this physical body is dead, right? So we could read books, we could talk to people, and then we could read theories about it, right? But with visual clairvoyance, if you learn how to do it, then you can see for yourself, quite literally, right? You could, for example, see a being, a person, a spirit, right, that is in the extra-physical, in the non-physical dimension, and then perhaps even interact energetically or through exchanging thoughts, and then you will have a concrete, a real, a personal experience with life after death, right? So I think in summary, I think in the broad sense, this is about, it allows you, it's a tool to explore what's beyond the physical life, right? And then you can, from there, you can go, in many directions.
Okay, because what I was familiar with is, being used like to talk to ones that maybe have passed on, or, and relatives and, and stuff like that. So you're telling me it can be a lot more involved in basically what I just mentioned.
Yes, because if you think about the theory of multiple lives, right, reincarnation, a lot of people believe in reincarnation. A lot of people believe in life after death, right? But at the same time, a lot of people are afraid of death, or they are afraid of these non-physical things, these ghosts, and so on. So it's a bit of a paradox, a contradiction there, right? Because you have the theory that yes, you will, there is something, right, life after life, but at the same time there is this big fear of interacting with it, and I think the key thing is that the theory alone, right, ideas alone, they usually don't they don't give you something to improve yourself, something just to resolve that fear. And then once you start interacting with the extra physical dimension, this non-physical dimension, right, you develop your psychic ability and see for yourself, then I think you become a lot more confident. You understand the world around you in a much deeper way, right? So in a way, I think this is about validating the theories, right? You understanding other dimensions, understanding what are ghosts, understanding what are these strange phenomena, or this phenomena that may seem strange at first, but then once you start looking into, you say, look, this is part of how nature works. This is how a lot of things around us work, but they were kind of set aside in history. They were discarded in great part, right, by science. A lot of most of the research that is done these days is about physical things. right? And in a way, the questions about what are we doing here, and is there life after death? Is there a meaning for life? Is there like a life mission? All these questions, they're kind of set aside as this spiritual thing that I will do if I have time, right? So I think investing in learning about psychic ability and in developing psychic ability can give you very interesting experiences and very good insights about what's happening around you.
Well, how does a person go about developing that ability?
All right. Psychic ability is so. For example, if we take visual clairvoyance, I think it's one of the key things. One of the maybe the main two things that you can do is, one, learn how to relax slowly, how to have a controlled relaxation. And the second thing that you can do is learn how to work with bioenergies, right? Or chi, prana, this non-physical type of energy that we all have. I can give you a bit more detail about both, right? So first, in terms of relaxation, relaxation is something that will help you to reduce let's say the noise that our physical body brings, right? So if we are awake and you have your eyes open, you're seeing, you're feeling things, you can feel the weight against the chair, right? So that's your physical body. Maybe you can, of course, you're hearing, if you're hearing this program, right? Your ears are working, and so you have all these physical things happening. Now, if you lay down in bed and then you relax for about 10-15 minutes, your physical body will slow down, right? So your heart rate will slow down, your muscles will relax, and then this will allow you to feel less what you're perceiving, what you're feeling through the physical body, and then perhaps feel a bit more of what you're perceiving, what you're feeling from other vehicles, other bodies, right? So the energy body is one example, right? And then we have the astral body, or the psychosoma, that body that people use during an out-of-body experience or during an astral travel, right? Now, so you have the physical body. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to ask you, what is an out-of-body experience? For the people out there that don't really know, I never had one. I've had guests on my show that have had, out-of-body experiences. I had a lady on my show that was in surgery. She died for approximately 8 minutes. During that time, she was dead. She was like hovering over her body. She saw the doctors. They heard what the doctors were saying. She even heard the music was playing till they turned it off, and they said, "Oh, we lost her." And then all of a sudden, something told her, no, it wasn't her time. That she had other business to take care of. And the next thing she knew, she was back alive. And she remembered all that stuff. So the next day, she was talking to the doctor and said, "Hey, I heard all this stuff. I heard you guys pronounce me dead. I heard all this stuff. I saw all this stuff. I saw what you were doing." And she described to the doctors, and the doctor said that was a total out-of-body experience. So, or near death or whatever, So,
this is a classic near-death experience, right? That was induced by the state of her physical body. Now, you can have an out-of-body experience without being, in surgery or in anesthesia. A lot of people have